We are going to play Ascending Empires. This is the new Zenith edition, which is available on Kickstarter right now. They're running their crowdfunding campaign. This is from Play to Z, new publisher, who helped sponsor this video, but we are going to be playing this at 2 players, and they have some interesting mechanics going on for 2 players that sort of not simulates another player, but kind of replaces them with some sort of alien robots.
Yeah, so the setup we have here is pretty much the same no matter how many players, but what David's referring to are these 4 planets in the center. You'll kind of notice, and actually it's kind of an interesting setup here, there's holes in these mats where you place all of these different planets. In a 2-player game, some are going to start destroyed, and some are going to start already kind of discovered by these robots that we're going to have to battle if we want to come and actually interact with these planets at all. And so the goal here in a 2-player game, it's not necessarily head-to-head just fight each other, even though this is a 4X, there are 4X elements. We're actually just trying to score points, and you're getting those points in a wide variety of ways. Yes, combat does give you points, but you're also getting points from doing things like building research stations and other buildings, and trying to complete some of the global objectives, which are cards that you're going to lay out at the start of the game as well. So they do call it a 4X game, and I don't want to shy away from that, but I've never seen a 4X that is as playful as this, that brings in like an actual dexterity element.
Playful is a good term for this because it is 4X. You do all of those things to varying degrees. It's definitely a streamlined experience in that respect. You're not collecting any resources. You're really just exchanging troops with planets to build structures, exploiting those planets effectively for their technologies, which allows you to go up to sort of these little personal tech trees that you have. All scoring points along the way, but like Ryan said, there are some end game scoring things too with those objectives. The game is going to trigger, anyway, the ending once we get through this giant pile of point tokens. So we will want to be doing some of those things to progress the points further.
Yeah, and we're going to play the first part of a game. I think we're going to stop right around the time somebody gets an objective. We're going to try to see if we can get at least one objective complete on camera before we break. Who's going first?
I say you go first.
Okay, so we've got this little card here. This little card tells you what you can do on your turn. There's only 4 things you're going to do on your turn. I'm going to move. Move is how you're going to actually spread out across the galaxy using your little ships here as discs. Now, there's a few operations you can do every time you move, including moving these around the orbit so that you can get exactly where you want them to go. And I think I'm going to...
And each move is going to include 2 moves,
2
right?
flicks.
Yeah, 2 flicks. And then between flicks, you can do some of those operations, and you'll see some of those as Ryan goes.
Yeah, now my goal is to get within the orbit of some of these other planets while avoiding these alien warships because these are bad. They're bad. So hopefully I can do that. You think it's easy, but
yes,
you know, you can go too hard or you can go too light.
There's flicking involved.
Let's see if I can make it.
You hit it,
but
you bounced out of its orbit.
Bounce out of its orbit.
But you have 2.
Luckily, I get 2, so I'm just going to give it a little flick. There. So I'm in the orbit, and now the other thing you can do when you enter the orbit is discover the planet, which you'll do by flipping over this relic, and this becomes a kind of action tile that I can use later, and flipping over the planet as well. It's a purple planet. Purple corresponds to one of the particular types of research we have on our cards. And then the other thing I can do, the other operation is to land on this planet, which I think I will.
If you want to.
I think I do want to land on it. So I'm going to return my ship back to my board. It's landed, and I place a troop out there instead. This is important because later if I ever want to build, I'll need this troop. Fortunately, I used my 2 moves, but you know, I think I want to do one more move.
You could use your energy.
I'm going to use my energy. We start with 1 energy. We can do whatever action we're doing 1 more time.
Effectively. He can do one more flick in this case.
One more flick. I'm going here. All right, here we go. All right. That did it. Okay. I was honestly a little nervous about that one, but I did make it. So I'm going to get another token, another one of those relics, and I'm going to discover this planet, which is a red planet.
This is a pretty robust first turn.
Not bad first turn. I did use my energy. You know what? I'm not going to land here, and I have a reason why I don't want to land there.
Okay.
But I have 2 of those relic tokens. Now, you can only hold 3, so I'm going to have to start using these before I get more. But that's it. That was my turn. I did the move, and I did the 1 extra action with the energy, so...
Yeah, and before we go on, I do want to talk, we mentioned a little bit about our ships and our troops on our player board. The player dashboard has a lot of things going on. It's going to hold some troops. It's going to hold some ships. You only have 4 troops and 2 ships to start with, and the 2 ships start here on the star map. But then you've got cities, outposts, research facilities, and star bases that when you build out will all leave your player board and oftentimes uncover victory points, but also unlock, if you build a city or star bases, you're going to unlock more spaces so that you can have more ships and more troops. So it's got a lot of interesting things going on. And then you heard Ryan talk about his energy. Those unlock tokens, when you unlock them, they actually convert over into more energy and refresh the energy that you've spent.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's very cool. Lastly, before we go, we forgot to tell you, we are playing with a little module where we are factions.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about mine next turn. I'm not using mine yet.
Oh, yeah, but I know what it is. Mine is Valerian, Knowledge of the Ancients. After activating 2 or 3 relics of on the same turn, which you'll see probably soon, I get to keep one of them. Usually you have to discard any relics you use. I'd get to keep one. And we'll see what Ryan's there is in a second.
Yeah, I mean, mine lets me build star bases a little easier, which might be explain why I didn't want to land.
That's what I figured.
I'll show it off.
It usually
probably
costs
on my next turn.
2 star bases, and I think he's got a little something
ships,
special.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm going to move 2 because
it's a good starting action.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, we don't
I think the game wants to teach people right away. You're going to be flicking things around to move.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to play it safe and stay within my quadrant right here. Like we said, we can move around here to reposition as a free operation. I'm going for this one right here.
Oh,
boom.
Well done, those
There's one.
skills.
I'm going to go ahead before I take my second flick and reveal this to discover it. So I get this relic, and we find out that it is a, pink planet. And then I get another flick. I can also kind of move this around.
Or you can land there if you wanted.
I could land there. Well, I could flick this one and land here. I don't know if I want to land on a pink planet. I think I'm going to just flick again right here. Hey, 2 successful flicks. And discover, get another relic, and please be some green planet. That's not bad also. And then I am going to actually land there and bring my ship back. And that's my turn. The moves in this game move along at a nice clip. I mean, in fact, that was the move turns. When you take the move action, it's probably one of the longer actions. A lot of the other things just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so I'm going to take my second action as an interact action. And I'm going to interact with, now there's a few things you can interact with. There's a little archive over there. There's these mission cards that we referenced earlier that you can complete if you have the requirements. Now, a lot of these require you to have specific buildings spread out across the map in different various quadrants. I don't have any of these, so I can't interact with that. I could interact with that and take one of those tokens, but I'd rather interact with one of the relics I already have. And I'm going to turn in this relic, effectively just using it one time. And it's going to give me a free guy, so I get to put a free guy down on a planet. Let's put them
that you occupy.
Here. Yeah, it's got to be a planet that I occupy, which is only the purple one. And then I can build. And I'm going to build a research facility.
I thought you might be.
That costs, now all of the costs are printed on the player board, but it costs a troop, so I lose a troop to then build a research facility here. And there can be up to 3 things on one planet, so I'm okay there. And I get the research facility bonus, which is gravity snare. If I ever flick and hit a planet but bounce off, it'll suck me back into the orbit, which is nice.
Yeah,
so
that's huge if you're not great at flicking. So you'll put a cube from your tray.
Yeah, this is the best part though, because I'm the first person to research gravity snare. I get a point. Now, if I were to come and research another purple planet, which who knows if we'll get one in this video or not, but if I were to, then I would get the level 2 technology, and they just get better and better.
Well, the thing is, you can even build with that other guy.
That's true.
On
I
there.
could build another research.
You can build, like Ryan said, you can have 3 things on there, and they could be 3 research facilities. You could be really exploiting that planet by taking all of its
but
technology.
spoiler alert, one of the in-game missions wants you to have all 3 types of buildings on one planet, so
maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe I don't want to double up. But either way, that was my one action, and I could interact again if I had another energy, but I don't. So that's it for me.
All right, I'm going to do something similar to Ryan, take a page out of his playbook. but I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I'm going to use my Valerian power. I'm going to interact with this relic first. This lets me deploy a ship from my dashboard twice. I'm kind of wasting this a little bit, but I can deploy that to any planet where I have occupied.
Yep.
So I'm going to deploy it there, and then I get to flick twice, but I can't juice that move up, which I don't want to anyway. So I am going to actually flick over here.
Nice.
I didn't
right
even
on
need
the line.
twice. Oh, but I could do all the things. So I'm going to discover this one. This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I actually like that. So I get another relic. I get one more flick.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to do anything crazy just yet, and I kind of want to stay there.
You
I'm
can.
not going to use that flick.
Yeah, you're going to land there on that planet?
Yes, he said. Yeah, I am going to land there on that planet. So I get my ship back.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get another one of those relics and do the same thing. Then I am going to use an energy to interact again with another one of my relics. I'm going to interact with this one that lets me place a troop out on a planet, and I'm going to place, I kind of want to do this planet now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put it on this planet here because you've already done purple.
Yep.
And then I do a build action. I'm actually going to build an outpost.
Oh, that's smart.
So my troop comes back, and now I have an outpost out there on this green planet. I haven't researched any technologies like Ryan did, but I have an outpost out there, so now I can do some other things on that planet. But the cool thing is I used 2 using my energy, but my faction says after activating 2 or 3 relics on the same turn, keep one of them instead of discarding it. And I think I have to keep the one that I just used to teleport out there.
Yep. Putting a guy out.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is pretty sweet. We had played a warm-up game without these factions, and that definitely brings that asymmetry and makes it a little more fun.
All right, my turn?
Yep.
All right. So I could build again here. We already talked about that. I could build again over here with my special power, which I think I will do. I'm going
what's your special power?
So yeah, I didn't talk about that because I was saving it for this moment.
Oh, I see what you're building.
I can build a starbase with only 1 starship. Now, the cost of building a starbase in an area normally costs you 2. I can build it with 1, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to return the ship to my board. I'm going to build a starbase here. Now, this gives you a few things. For one,
that's cool.
For one, it gives you another space for a starship, so I can have maximum 3 starships.
That's cool.
The other thing that it does that's really cool is it gives you another energy to spend, and would normally also refresh all your energy. But my faction power has a downside. This energy I got from building that goes right to the spent side, and I don't get to refresh.
Yeah, that's rough. But it is just for building star bases.
But it helps me build star bases a little quicker, and I can increase my fleet of starships. So that's it for me. I've got 3 starships.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to do something. I mean, everything has a little bit of similarities, so our turns are not going to be completely a wide variety. But I'm going to build something else, because I find myself here with a troop and an outpost, and I'm considering building a city.
Ooh, yeah.
But I just want to make sure that's going to give me another troop.
Yeah.
I am going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and build. So it's going to cost me both the outpost and the troop, and I can place the city there now. I have to put my outpost back and my troop back, but that unlocks this, and it refreshes my energy.
That's good.
And I get another troop from my tray.
All right, so I was going to, I was thinking about building again as well, but I realized I don't have an outpost. I need to start exploring. I have a goal to complete some of these objectives.
More flicking?
Well, I can't flick on the same turn I deploy.
Oh, that's
so I'm going to deploy, which gives me, I could do this twice. I could deploy a troop to a planet or a ship to a planet. I'm going to deploy 2 ships.
And the ships have to come in at your warp gate.
Yeah, or... my warp gate. That's it. So they're going to come right there and right there. So I have 2 of my 3 possible ships.
So that's your deploy.
That is my deploy.
See, like I said, a lot of these actions
turns.
just boom, and then it's and I haven't even decided what I was going to do.
Well, yeah,
but I think I am going
thinking about that.
So I think I'm going to move again, into another quadrant, but I'm not using a move action. I'm going to interact again and use this token right here, which lets me to a move for 2 flicks, but at the end of my turn, one of my attacks is going to get a +1, so I'm going to try to set up an attack with this robot here with 1 ship, which you'd normally need 2. So let's see if I can get this done.
All right.
And I can reposition because it's an operation I can do when I'm doing this. I'm going to make it right here. Let's see if I can get this in 1. Ryan's not making it easier.
Oh, that was close.
Quite. Okay, one more.
Made it.
Boom, boom.
Made it. Very much in.
All right, but I'm not going to end my turn just yet because I am going to use some of that newfound energy that I just got back.
That works really well with that faction.
To interact with this token, which is like the one I had before, that's going to let me transport a troop onto a place. Ooh. I think I'm going to transport here just because I like the idea of, oh, you know what? No, I'm going to transfer there.
Yeah? Interesting.
And build.
Okay.
Then I'm going to build with this guy.
Ah, I see.
So I'm going to bring him back and build a research facility.
You want that gravity snare as well.
The gravity snare, I can just chuck it at planets and it'll work. So I got the gravity snare, but I don't get the points for discovering it first. And now, because of my faction, I can get rid of one of these.
That's such a good power. I like that power. Having power envy.
I think I'm going to keep that one again.
Yeah, keep the build one.
I like the build one.
That's good.
I like the build one.
That's really good. All right, and then the end of your turn is when combat is checked.
Now is the end of my turn. So I'm going to combat this guy, and I had the +1 from that relic.
Yep.
So that's enough to take this guy out.
Yeah. So
he's a defensive 1. You have to exceed something's defense to take it out. And there's some interesting things that happen with this.
Yeah, and again, this is just in a 2-player game to kind of give you a little bit more to do since there's not a lot of players to interact with. But since you defeated that, you get to reposition it.
And they first go to an unexplored planet in the same quadrant. We've got several, so I'm going to just pick one. I might want to fight more of these guys so I could put them close.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I might. Nah, I'm going to put them way over here. I don't want to deal with them. And they effectively discover this planet. So this token, which is the one I just used to move around, is going to get added to the artifact archive here, or the relic archive. And then he discovers the red planet. He goes there. Then we add another robot. So to basically take those guys out, you need to have an attack of 3.
Yeah,
and eventually, if there are 3 robots on a planet, which will happen if someone takes these guys out, and you attack it, it destroys that planet. So the planet kind of goes away. And then one of the end game triggers too, not only taking all these point tokens, is for all of the planets to be revealed, occupied, and or destroyed.
Yeah, you definitely messed up my strategy quite a bit. So I'm going to have to rethink things here. Well, I am going to move. So I do get my 2 flicks to move, and I might need them both. I'm going to try something a little interesting. So the first thing you can do, again, those operations, I'm going to launch. So I'm going to take this guy, effectively putting him back in the seat of one of these.
Nice.
And I am going to reposition it. So I'm going to kind of position here. Boy. All right. I like it right there. Ooh, okay. 1 flick is okay. 2 flick. All right. So that got me into this planet, and this actually gives me 1 more flick. So I can hopefully get into this planet here, which I did. So I hit it, so even if I landed out of it, I get sucked into its own gravitational well. So that's the closest thing I've had to like a combo. These artifact planets, if you hit them, they do give you that extra move. So you can kind of, it's like slinging around the orbit.
Yeah,
it's kind of thematic.
For sure.
So,
well, the gravity whip or gravity snare definitely helps.
So I do get this relic, one that lets me place 2 guys out. That'll be pretty good.
And it is a pink planet.
It is a pink planet, and I am going to land there. So you might have to help with my reach.
I don't know if I like you over here, way over here.
So I did 1, 2, and then my 3rd free bonus one. So I don't have any more flicks. That's too bad. I wanted to kind of spread out a little bit more. I didn't want to waste all of my flicks.
Oh, that was both of your flicks plus the bonus?
Both of my flicks plus the bonus.
And you have no energy?
Yeah. I have 0 energy. So
oh, man.
I know. I need to work on building some of these cities. But
cities is going to be where it's at
I had a different plan, so I haven't done that yet. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I think I am going to move again. Yeah, I think I am. Although I need another relic. I could
You're
use
gonna have to
another
go
relic.
get some more relics. There's still plenty of relics to find out in
You know
the
what?
galaxy.
I changed my mind. I am actually going to build.
Interesting.
And I'm going to build right here. You haven't done that yet, right?
I'm not on green. I've only built on purple.
So I'm going to take that troop back
Yep.
and build a research facility.
That's a good one on green.
And that's going to give me the geothermal harvesters. When I build an outpost, I get to refresh my energy.
Yeah, 1 energy. And you should have done that before you built that first outpost.
That's true. That's
okay.
true. But that's okay. I had refreshed my energy already
Getting that
anyway.
outpost, or getting that city out was
as
huge.
importantly, I get a victory
true.
point token for doing that.
All right. And you never took your victory point for defeating the alien either.
Oh, that's
so don't
true.
forget to
I
do
have
that.
another victory point. See, there's victory points you get everywhere. When you're defeating anything, you're going to get victory points equal to its defense value. So, like this, with these 2 robots, that's going to get 2 victory points.
I'm gonna build another research facility. So let's just let's replace that troop over there with a research facility. I've got that built.
Oh, now you've got pink.
Now I have pink, and I did that. I was the first to do pink, so
What
I'm
is
gonna
that?
take my point.
Energy transmission.
This is energy transmission. Whenever a planet I occupy becomes blockaded, meaning if you enter my orbit of that planet, I gain a
You get to
energy.
refresh.
I get to refresh an energy. So come on into my planet. Try to blockade me.
Yeah, that's a very sort of like
That is good.
stay away from me.
There's a lot of
technology.
reasons. When you are blockaded, you can't do a lot of action. So if somebody
Yeah.
comes into your orbit, it does limit what you can do. It's like a consolation prize, a little bit.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it makes it so
Yeah.
I'm just not going to go
We'll see.
trying to blockade you. All right, now I have to. Well, I could move with this ship, but that seems silly. I think I'm going to deploy.
Yep.
And you can deploy twice. I'm going to deploy a ship right here.
Troop right
or
there.
a troop right here. And do I want to deploy another troop?
Well, you couldn't do it there because 3
No,
is the
no.
max.
I could deploy a troop here
could.
or another. I think I'm going to just deploy my other ship at my warp gate.
Nice.
That's it.
All right.
Deploy's probably one of the most straightforward actions.
All right, I'm going to do another move action. I need to keep exploring out, so I'm going to do a move action over here. I'm going to try to make this little jump. Let's see if I can. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do what you did.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
have that
use-
one?
I'm going to use that token just in case because I might want to actually come over here.
If you miss, where do you want to go?
I've got 2 moves, so I can go maybe to both of these
I see.
planets. We're going to see, but I'm going to have this anyway just in case because getting a little bit of combat
So
here is
you're
not so bad.
interacting with
So
the
I'm interacting.
relic.
Yeah, I'm not moving technically. I'm interacting with a relic that gives me 2 moves. So we're gonna go here. All right, and I did hit it.
Yep.
So
Gravity
that
snare.
that gravity snare is coming in handy. Sucks me back in.
As long as you have good aim.
Nothing. That's right.
If you go off the mat, you destroy your ship.
Nothing else happens right now because combat doesn't happen till the end of the round. But I will have 1 extra combat or 1 extra strength for that combat. And then we're gonna come over here to this
Can
one.
you do
I
it?
should
Can
be
you
able.
do it twice? Oh,
Don't-
it's just gravity snare that thing.
I
Yeah.
did. I did. I
I'm telling you, that gravity
without
snare.
that gravity snare, I would have missed both of those.
That's
That would have
true.
been really bad.
That's true.
I love it. I love the gravity snare. So I'm going to use or take this. Oh, it's another building relic.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to explore this planet. It is a.
You're discovering all the pink planets.
I am. I don't know why. And you know what? I'm going to land here as well. So let's see what's going on. Let's see how this works.
That was pretty tasty. Now
Yeah.
you have the attack at the end of your turn. So
I do
you're
have the attack at the end of my
effectively taking
turn.
that guy
I'm
out.
at 2. It's at 1. I do take that guy out, so I'm going to get a victory point for taking him out. And then I'm going to place him and 1 other robot. Let's put him farther away. I know you like to put him close by. So we're going to add this to the archive, if you don't mind adding that to the archive.
Oh, it's another one of those.
Oh, a green planet. Actually, I do want a green planet. That would be helpful.
That's not a bad.
No, not bad at all.
It's not a bad planet. I'm
right.
looking forward to building an outpost again soon.
That's it for me.
Let's see. What do I want to do? I think now I am going to take a move action. I don't have a move.
You need to get some more relics.
I need to get some more relics. So I am going to.
You know, you can always just take a relic with the
that's
interact
true.
action.
That's true, but I want to move.
I know.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go. Oh, that's pretty
Oh.
far.
You're gonna make this path.
I'm gonna try it.
All right, I love this. I love it.
All right, let's see if I can do this. Oof. My crokinole skills need to not fail me here.
Whoa!
Pretty good, pretty good. And then I will try to reach this.
Hey,
In?
just tap it
In?
in.
Is
Oh,
it
it's
in?
in. It's definitely
I Happy
in.
Gilmore'd it?
Hey.
All right, let's discover that
You've
thing.
got. Do you have the gravity snare? Yeah, you do. So it
I
would've been
do, but I
okay.
can't get.
You'd have been
I'm a
okay.
finesse player.
Oh, okay. All right, so you get your relic there, and this is another green planet. Yeah. I got the green planets. I should have gone to that one.
So that was my 2 moves. So I don't get another flick unless I want to spend some energy. I'm not going to
All
spend
right.
energy. I will land there though.
Okay, here's your ship back. I'll take your guy. Landed on that one. All right, are you done?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to build. My plan is coming to fruition. So I'm going to build again. I'm going to build another research facility here. So this guy returns, and I build another research facility. I have all these unguarded research facilities just flying around.
Yeah, it is dangerous. I would say in a 4-player game,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got some very exposed planets right now.
We do. But, it is what it is. But I did that because either way, even if it gets destroyed, I still now have unlocked the second technology, orbitable defenses. Orbitable defenses. My star bases have a defense of 2.
And now 2 points for that too.
And also 2 points for that. That's the real reason I did it.
Yeah, all you
was to be
fans
the
of
first
tech
to
trees
do
and
that.
climbing up tech, I mean, this not only does it give you some massive advantage, but it's a good way to score points if you really race up one.
It is a really good way to score points. So that is it for me.
Oh boy. All right, I am going to interact again because
surprise.
if I can use the energy, maybe I'll do 2 things. But I'm going to try to pull off some crazy stuff here. So the first thing is I can bring a ship out from my dashboard to a planet I occupy. I'm going to bring it here.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to set up is I'm going to try to take this guy out with both my ships, which I'm not sure. This one's going to be tricky.
Yeah, you can't hit that. If you hit that Guardian, your ship is gone.
Stop making me nervous.
Just get Crokinole out of your mind. You don't want to hit the opponents.
I have 2 flicks. Wish me luck. All right. I don't think I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to see if I can get this one there.
Ooh, well, I bet you.
But I have the gravity snare.
You do have the gravity snare, so all you have to do is hit the planet.
I'm probably going to use it this time. So, gravity snare. Zoop.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and move him back around here so I don't blow up my own ship. Now, this one here in one flick.
Oh.
Gravity snare to the rescue again. Yes, that was, I feel good about it. How do you feel about that,
that was
Ryan?
a great shot.
So that is this token. Now, do I want to spend
shot.
the energy to do another one of those crazy build scenarios? I think I do.
Yeah, you probably do.
And I'm going to use an energy to do this and build. I get to bring a guy in. I'm going to bring a guy in over on that green planet way over there.
Yeah.
And I am going to build. Let's see what the green. Oh, that's interesting.
What is the second? You made to play your troops to. Oh.
I'm not going to do that.
I need that one. I've got the star base.
I'm actually just going to build an outpost again.
Okay.
And when I build an outpost, I get to.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you
get
got a sweet little combo coming.
That is a nice little combo.
And let me guess which of those relic tiles you're going to hold on to.
Maybe the build one.
Yeah, I think so.
So my faction power has been beautiful so far.
Yeah, now you have your combat here that happens.
Yeah, so now I have my combat. It's basically, I have 2 to his 1.
Yep.
He's going to go somewhere. Oh, this is an interesting situation. So you're going to check for unoccupied planets?
Oh, unexplored planets first.
Yeah.
And there are none.
There are none.
So then he has to go to an unoccupied planet.
So he's going to go to this pink planet here
one more
with
added
a
on.
buddy.
And he has strength 1 when you defeated him, so don't forget to take your victory point.
Yep, I get another victory point token. What's your? Oh, you got a lot of victory
I have
point
quite
tokens.
a few. This is from my technologies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing some technologies there, and well, I think this is going to be it for our coverage because I said.
Did you do a thing?
I did a
what did
thing.
you do?
So I've been working towards this one and really hoping you didn't quite notice. Have 3 research facilities in 3 different quadrants.
Oh, well,
and I have
that's
a
why you
research
went over
facility
here.
There, I have one here. I have one here. And I thought I was really afraid. I didn't know if you would waste a guy just to come blow this up. I thought maybe you wouldn't because you've been building so much.
I'm not that kind of player.
So the first person to do so, the first person to complete this, puts 2 cubes on there to mark that they were the first.
How many
I
points?
will get 4 points at the end of the game. Now, David can still do it, and in fact, if this was a multiplayer game, any other player could still do it, but they only get 2 points. So I put my 2 cubes on here to remind everybody that I was the first to get those points.
That's nice.
So that was pretty good. You're on your way to this one. You're on your way to 2. So
yeah, whether I knew that or not, as if you watch the channel at all, you'll know I rarely ever look at those things. What is that one over there?
This one's 2 outposts on the enemy's side of the board, which this is.
Oh, okay.
And then that's have all 3 buildings on one, and you're very close to having all 3 buildings on one planet.
Oh,
so.
this is just 3 buildings on one planet? Okay, yeah, I would get that on my
all the different structures plus a star base. So you do need to build your star base. But
you're
you're pretty close to that.
I have to basically build my hub planet.
Yeah, this is going to be, it'll be interesting to see because we actually got it probably about halfway through the game because we have about half of the planets explored already.
Yeah, I actually think you saw just about the only thing we didn't do is we didn't interact with the relic archive, right?
That's true. And we didn't really fight each other.
We didn't fight each other, but
we probably will here off camera.
The fighting is very similar to what you saw with the robots. You just have to get close enough to a ship. You're not like ramming it. If you hit someone else, you both get destroyed. So there may be times that you'd want to do that.
We'll find out because we are right here. We're starting to get very close to each other. So we'll see what happens off camera. But we'll definitely report back with what happened.
Yeah, we're going to finish the game. We'll come back and tell you about the entire experience.
Yep.
And we have finished the game. It took a little bit longer, but it wasn't
longer than I thought.
It did take longer, but not really long.
Okay, I'll say it's actually all right for me because I was thinking maybe it felt a little short because I was like, we've explored a lot of the map, but then it gets a little tougher once you start moving those robots around and there gets to a spot where there's 3 robots on a planet. You're like, oh well.
We never destroyed 3 robots on a planet. Getting 4 attack power is tricky. I mean, there are some ships. Neither of us went up the red track. Oh, you did go up the red track a couple.
I did. I got some points. A lot of my points were from research stations. I did get a lot of points from my board. I guess not to bury the lead too much. I did win.
He did win. I was just about to say the same thing.
44
to 40. So it was close.
And I had a turn where we actually got a little aggressive. You'd be proud of David, too. He came into my zone and started destroying it.
I did. I took out 1 research station. You took out 3 of mine.
Where it actually started to matter was points from having control of different areas. Yeah. You actually get more points for having areas outside of your territory. And since I had expanded earlier, it actually paid off pretty well at the end.
Yeah, that worked out for you. I do want to point out the pile of tokens, the victory point tokens.
Oh yeah.
We did not deplete.
One left.
Well, we didn't deplete it down that far. We did use them to calculate our scores at the end. So our tokens incorporate some of the end game scoring. We both just got 1 of those. Ryan got that 1 at the beginning that you saw on camera. I got this 1 later by having this. There is no starbase there right now. But that's because I had an ability that let me, at the end of my turn, move my starbase to another planet.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you did actually qualify for having 2 outposts, but you did it on your very last action.
At the very end, I had triggered the end. In fact, I think when I moved this over...
you built...
Oh, that's right. I built
You built something. You occupied that last planet. Yeah, that was what triggered it. Yep.
So if all the planets are discovered and occupied, which is what happened here, which I didn't think that was going to be what triggered it at the beginning, but it did.
Yeah.
We had 1 more turn, and unfortunately, I couldn't. I could build the outpost, but I couldn't build and then interact. That is the one rub on these objective cards. Is they're not just like, oh, I did it, place a thing. You have to interact with it. So it's either 2 turns, or if you have some shenanigans that you can do with powers.
You got to save your relics, because if you interact with a relic that builds, and it builds your last piece, you can use an energy to interact
again. You could, but I think
claim one of those.
I think all the relics that are like that,
we use them really quick.
Well, and I also think when you build,
end your turn.
It
That's
ends
why.
your turn.
That's
why it does that. So you can't do that.
Yeah, so it made it tough. I didn't think you were going to end it. I thought I might be able to get 1 more turn. I had a big build action plan for my last turn, or what ended up being my last turn. I was going to build, and then I was going to claim one of these. But since you ended it, I had to change focus, and instead of building, I deployed and flooded the board with troops, because troops are worth points at the end of the game if you have them out on the board. And so that final deploy action, I basically burned energy to get as many out as I could That helped as well.
Yeah, you had more points from your player board revealed, I think.
No,
Or
I
maybe
think
just
we
a
were
couple
tied.
more.
We were
pretty close.
We were close. I think maybe I had 1 point on you. The real difference was just controlling areas out on the board.
Yeah.
Because I had so many areas outside of my home, and putting the star bases control that area. So I had that planet over there, and I had just come out over here to this sector. So
we were able to explore a few cool things that you didn't see off camera. I had gone up all the way on my purple track, scored some major points there, but also at level 3, you get special ships for each one. One of the ships I got for the purple is the phase ship. When you move it, you don't flick it. You just choose where you want to go, you pick it up, and you place it there, which is very cool.
Well, that means it can prey on like little areas where you've just left like one research station behind because they have zero defense.
At the end of the game, you could just pop him around and just go zip, zip. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things. I also had a constructor ship that when it was in orbit, I was able to build at a discount of either one troop or one starship if I was doing it. It was huge. I didn't have to have a troop there. Or if I did, I didn't have to spend them to place an outpost. It was really interesting. The tech trees, and these are double-sided too. We didn't even look at the other sides, but the tech trees are a really interesting part of the game. And honestly, if you can get all the way up one, I mean, you got the first purple, right?
I did.
But then I got 2, 3, and 4. So I got a total of 9 points of 40.
Yeah, that's huge.
Just from part of the purple track.
I think, I mean, like I said, I got a lot of my points from that track. A lot of my during the game points. I mean, we did have like, I think 12 and 13 points on our board. So that was not nothing either.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, that was Ascending Empires. If you have any questions at all about it, please make them in the comments below. If we remember any more details, we'll share them down there. But I think we covered off everything. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.